matter how you say it or how you spell it, it is, how are you? I cannot remember a time in recent years when I've stopped to ask someone how they were doing, and the answer wasn't, I'm so busy. I have so much going on. And it's almost always in a lowered voice, almost whimpering tone. Remember this morning when you ran into a colleague on the elevator and you asked him how he was? Again, same tone, same response. I'm just so busy. I've got so much to do. His tone was exacerbated, tired, and even overwhelmed. And when I ask, how are you? I'm not asking how many items are on your to-do list, nor am I asking how overwhelming your inbox is or how many carpools you're in. What I really want to know is, how are you living? I'm admitting to all of you today, I have a disease. I am busy. But what does busy actually mean? Having a great deal to do? Isn't that just life? How did we end up living like this? Why do we do this to ourselves? When did we forget that we are human beings, not human doings? For some of us, the privileged ones, the lines between work and home have become blurred. We are on our devices all the time. Smartphones and laptops mean that there's no division between the office and home. When my daughter's in bed, I'm back online. One of my own daily struggles is the avalanches of email. It's never ending. Just when I think I'm on top of it, the overwhelming pinging noise of my inbox brings me back to reality. We all have an addiction and it needs a cure. It's a powerful way to think about it, isn't it? Could our organizations be the cure? Could we get people to relax and attend the arts? Or would they relax more if they attended the arts? Look at the definition of disease. A disorder of function produces specific symptoms, a habit adversely affecting a person. A study in the Journal of Psychological Science shows us that we're much happier when there's a lot going on in our lives. But if we keep active and busy as a positive to our health, why do we often feel overwhelmed or exhausted by our list of responsibilities? Constantly feeling busy is unhealthy, and we feel like we're so busy all the time. It's because our time is so fragmented by constantly multitasking and switching through various notes and tasks. When researching this presentation, one stat that really stood out to me, the average high school kid today experiences the same level of anxiety as a psychiatric patient of the 1950s. This goes to show you that it's increasingly important for children, and really people in general, need to take time out to relax and enjoy themselves through leisure and cultural activities. This disease of being busy is real. And let's call it what it is, the disease of being busy. When we are never at ease, it's destructive to our health and our well-being. It saps our ability to be fully present with those that we love and keep us from forming the kind of community that we all so desperately crave and living our lives to the fullest. We all make choices, thousands of them, every day. It may not be our to-do list that is the source of our unhappiness. Instead, our choices of words can have a negative effect on our experiences. A study of the psychological aspects of language tells us that words have more power than we may think. When we complain about how busy we are, we need to remember no one put our to-do list together. We did. We make the choices on how we choose to live our lives and how we spend our leisure time. We are in this together. How did we create a world in which we have more and more to do, but less time for culture and reflection, community, and to just be? Are we too busy doing the right thing? What are we busy with? We spend most of our time sleeping and taking care of our personal needs. Another large portion of our time is spent working and doing household chores. Most of our leisure time is spent watching TV and using electronic devices. On the Huffington Post website, these numbers are constantly changing to show what Americans are doing right at that very moment. The graphic shown here is one moment in time. The numbers are showing in units of millions. So at the time I took this screenshot, 11,696,694 Americans were sleeping. 46 million were eating, 22 million were watching TV, and 3.8 million were participating in community activities. It's a rather fascinating to sit and watch it change, but that would require you spending more time online, so don't do that. Get out and increase the leisure time category. Why aren't we spending more time enjoying the arts? When you look at the stats, they say that the #1 reason for not attending the arts or cultural event is time. It's our most precious resource that we use so unwisely. There were other reasons reported. These we can overcome with marketing messaging, but we must convince our patrons that spending their time with us will be worth it. Given that lack of time is the biggest barrier as to why people do not attend events related to the arts, well, what if we weren't consuming so much TV or spending our time on social media? Couldn't we be learning, experiencing, and supporting our local or national arts organization? And yet, the biggest reason to attend is to socialize. We can't do that while we're watching TV. Americans now spend more time watching television than all other leisure activities combined. It's amazing when you think about it. Americans on average are checking their social media accounts 17 times a day. More time spent using electronics is less time spent on sleep, relaxation, socializing, and attending cultural events. This is a real struggle we all face every day. As I mentioned, TV exceeds the sum total of all other leisure activities. Imagine 3+ hours on average a day watching TV on the weekend. And people say opera's too long. Just think about the living we could be doing if we gave up TV for even just one day on the weekend. We must stop. Money is a limited resource, so we should spend it on things that make us happy. A Cornell University psychology professor found that people often make a rational calculation. I have a limited amount of money, and I can either go there or I can have this. If I go there, it will be great, but it'll be done in no time. If I buy this thing, or at least I'll always have it. While that's factually true, it's not psychologically true. We adapt to our material goods. It's this process of adaptation that makes it so hard to buy happiness through material purchases. The new dress or the fancy car provides a brief thrill, but we soon come to take it for granted. Experiences, on the other hand, tend to meet more of our underlying psychological needs. They're often shared with other people, especially our loved ones, giving us a greater sense of connection, and they form a bigger part of our sense of our identity. If you've climbed Mount Everest or attended an opening night of a world premiere, heard the most glorious singing, those are the things that you'll always remember and talk about long after your favorite gadgets have gone to the landfill. We will get greater, longer-lasting happiness from collecting arts and cultural experiences. This graphic shows how people often think that their money will be better spent on a material purchase. However, psychologically, it's untrue. 2 and 4 weeks post-consumption, people feel that their money was better spent on an experience rather than a physical item. We buy things to make us happy, and we succeed, but only for a while. Material goods only make us happy for a short time. Their newness and excitement quickly wears off. Our experiences are a bigger part of ourselves than our material goods. You can really like your material stuff. You can even think that your identity is part of these things. But nonetheless, they remain separate from you. In contrast, your experiences really are a part of you. We are the sum total of our experiences. Our lives are shaped by the experiences we have and cherish. A perceptual map showing how people perceive material and experiential purchases prior to actually making their purchase. So before even making the purchase, people feel more pleasant, excited, and happy about purchasing an experience rather than purchasing a material good. Essentially, when you can't live in a moment, they say, it's best to live in anticipation of it. Experiential purchases like trips, Classical music concerts, live theater, they tend to trump material purchases because the utility of buying anything really starts accruing before you buy it. Waiting for an experience apparently elicits more happiness and excitement than waiting for a material good. By contrast, waiting for a possession is more likely fraught with impatience and anticipation. You can get really excited thinking about the date when you have to take in a live performance or a new artistic work, and how different that feels from waiting, say for your pre-ordered iPhone to arrive, or when the 2-day shipping on Amazon Prime just doesn't seem fast enough. I don't have any magical solutions. All I know is that we're losing the ability to live a truly human life. We need a different relationship to work, to technology, to how do we choose to take in arts and culture. Let's all break away from being too busy to live. Here are 5 reasons why we would all be happier if we stopped using busy to describe ourselves and our lives. When I complain about how busy I am, it is as someone put all these things on my plate without my approval, when in fact, I make my life the way it is. If somebody asks you to do something and you don't really want to, or you don't have time, just say, it would be great to see you, but I think my body needs a good night's sleep. Can we please schedule for next weekend? Make plans and keep them. Don't wait to see if something better comes along. Being busy implies that you are preoccupied. Immediately when the word busy comes out of your mouth, life becomes more hectic. Instead of enjoying the present moment and your current company, the only thing you're doing is running through your to-do list in your head. I'm too busy. Even saying the words makes me feel stressed and disconnected. Saying you're too busy is like telling the other person that they have too much time. Why is busy used as a response to how are you? What are your true emotions associated with being busy? It's okay to be honest. You may feel stressed out or anxious. At least those are feelings that the other person can understand and connect with. Summing up your life is busy. Doesn't acknowledge all the good things you are doing. It really feels like you need to sum up your life with one word. Try using the words active, eventful, involved, or full. Let us all insist on human-to-human connection. When one of us responds by saying, I'm just so busy, we can follow up by saying, I know we all are, but I really want to know how you're living. It is our job as arts professionals to create inspirational, transformational, and entertaining cultural products. We need to be the cure for this dreadful disease. Let us use our organizations to change hopelessness into hopefulness through experiencing great art. Culture will be the cure. I know what I want: a meaningful life, a sense of community, a balanced existence. I want to be truly human, and the arts can do that for me. I've decided that I'm going to experience all life has to offer. I'm putting down my phone, turning off the TV, and leaving the household chores for another day. I've decided that my life will be full of opera, classical music, ballet, art museums, live theater, and time to connect and surround myself by those that I love. I feel alive. That's it. The arts make my life full.